my fellow page turners, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Matthew, the man with a hat who reads. And yes, we are in a different place today. It is way too hot in the house. I am actually in the unfinished basement right now. You can see the lovely, ginormous furnace we have behind me. And yeah, it's cooler down here than it is upstairs. I can't really film upstairs where I normally film because I would need a fan running, and well, with the fan running, the audio would be all wonky and stuff. So we're down here today, and maybe there'll be more videos down here. Who knows? It's been really freaking hot lately. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's dealing with that here in the US. Anyway, we're here to talk about the month to come today. This is my July TBR video. I've got 13 books picked out for July, and I might even squeeze more in. Some of these are not that big. I'm really going to try to hit hard on the reading this month. My June TBR is practically finished. I think if things go smoothly, I should have them all finished by the end of June. I mean, we got like a few days, like 5 days as I'm filming this yet. So I think I can get them all finished yet. But let's talk about the July reads. Starting with some library books. I actually went to the library for once. We have Stuart Turton's The Last Murder at the End of the World. I'm a little bit late to the party on this one. I think this came out like a year ago, actually. And I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I really enjoyed 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle when I read it last year, or year before, whatever that was. And his other novel, The Devil in the Dark Water, I thought was okay. I'm excited for this one. It's more like 7.5 Deaths. It's a murder mystery. The world is destroyed by a fog that swept the planet, killing anyone it touched. But on the island, there are 122 villagers and 3 scientists living in peaceful harmony. And one of the scientists is found brutally stabbed to death, and then yada, yada, yada. I am intrigued to read this finally. I've been waiting for this one for quite a while. I can't wait to tackle this one this month. And then we have a new John Scalzi. John Scalzi's kind of gotten into more like goofy sci-fi lately. And this is When the Moon Hits Your Eye. The best way to sum this up for synopsis-wise is it's essentially the moon has turned into cheese, and now humanity must deal with it. That's right, cheese. So this will probably be very cheesy sci-fi. And clearly the author got in on the joke, because I mean, I don't know if you can see it with the reflection, but he's pictured himself there with a bunch of cheese. So I'm going to probably be reading this one first here in July. This is going to be the first one I tackle. I can't wait. This should be a lot of fun. Just over 300 pages. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm ready for some like humorous sci-fi. We're also continuing, of course, the Sandman Slim reread with book 7, Killing Pretty. Like I said, I've been really enjoying my reread so far of this series. I'm sure this book will be no different from the rest. I will continue to enjoy this reread. Been really flying through these at a very rapid pace, so that's good. This one's just 387 pages, so about the same length as the last one. I think just a page longer is all. So it shouldn't be too hard to get this one finished as well. We're sticking back in Matt Dinniman's Dungeon Crawler Carl. I have yet to read this one, and I want to read this one. This was in my May TBR, but then I just put it off because I had a lot going on in June, of course. And I figure it's time to tackle it in July. I am a little concerned with future volumes in this series. I didn't realize that some of the following books get a lot bigger. I mean, this one's like 400 some pages. I was at the bookstores the other day, and I saw some of the later books in the series are like 700, 800 pages. I'm like, oh my gosh, they get huge. But I am very excited to read this. I've heard only good things. So many channels that I follow have already read it, so I feel like this one too I'm late to the party on, but I am excited to finally get this one picked up and read this month. All right, so now it's time to all the random stuff. Because I also got a bunch of random crap in here. As you know, I've been trying to prioritize some of the books I've had sitting here the longest. So a lot of these have been sitting here for a year, 9 months to a year. They've been sitting here. So let's dive into them, shall we? We have Helen and Troy's Epic Road Quest by A. Lee Martinez. A. Lee Martinez has written a lot of standalone, humorous fantasy. I've read pretty much everything he's put out except this one, I think. Is there any I've missed? No. This is the only one left of his that I haven't read, and I'm excited. I mean, like I said, it's a humorous fantasy. It comes in at about 340 pages, looks like. Shouldn't be too hard. These, when I've read his books in the past, they usually move pretty quickly, so I'm feeling this one will as well. Some of the channels are doing like a Don't Die July, where they're reading horror here in July. So I picked up a couple of horror-esque titles. We have Johannes Kabel, the Necromancer. A charmingly gothic, fiendishly funny Faustian tale about a brilliant scientist who makes a deal with the devil twice. He sold his soul, now he wants it back. Satan proposes a little wager. Johannes has to persuade 100 people to sign over their souls or he will be damned forever. This time for real. I don't know. It sounds like a fun one. I know this is first in a series. I haven't read any of this author's books before. Or, of course, any of the sequels. Oh, I had a bookmark in it. But yeah, this should be a fun one. Can't wait to dive into this one. Finally, because I think I got that like a year ago. Over a year ago, actually. Then the other horror title we have is Ian Reid's We Spread. Kind of a creepy looking cover. Trying to figure out how I can sum this up, but the synopsis is a little bit more detailed than I expect. All I know is Ian Reid is an author whose books make you think, and they also make you sometimes feel very unsettled. His novel, I'm Thinking of Ending Things, was bizarre and strange and also kind of unsettling. And his novel Foe is a book I've read, and I've not been able yet to stop thinking about how that book ends. And I'm very excited to dive into another book by him. There are 4 previous books, but they only list 3. What's the 4th one? Why do you say he's the author of 4 previous books if you're only going to list 3? What's the 4th? Okay, I'm going to have to do some research. Apparently he's written 4 novels, but I only know of 3. So this should be a good one, though, to get read. And it's also not very long, so it's kind of the pattern. A lot of these are not very long. For a nonfiction pick this month, since it's really freaking hot, how about we talk about A Cold Place with Flying Off Everest. Sounds like these 2 guys are up on top of Mount Everest, and then they go paragliding from it. And I think they're nuts even considering it. But, you know, this sounds like it would be a fun read, an interesting read. And, you know, reading about a cold location when it's hot is never a bad idea. So, yeah, this should be a good little nonfiction read here for July. We'll see how that turns out. It's probably one of those I'll read it and I'll be like, oh, that was fun, but I never need to read it again. We're diving back into Toshikazu Kawaguchi's series with book 3 of that, Before Your Memory Fades. The first 2 books of the series I absolutely adored when I read them, which, God, that's been like that's a year and a half ago I was reading those. So it's time to go back to this series. I loved the first 2. I don't think this one will be any different. And I read really quickly on those first 2, so I don't think it'll be any difference here either. So this will be a nice little comfort read, nice cozy read for during July when it's been so freaking hot. We have Ray Naylor's The Tusks of Extinction. This is a novella. They brought back the mammoth. And then they took this scientist in elephant behavior and have digitized her consciousness and downloaded it into the mind of a mammoth. So here we are. I'm a big elephant person. I've heard really good things about this book from multiple people, so I'm very excited to read this one as well. Like I said, it's short. Is it even 100 pages? With acknowledgments, it's 101, so it's barely 100 pages. I should be able to drop this one out pretty quick, maybe even in an afternoon, just depending on how things go. Last couple here. This one I had in a TBR a while ago, and I never got around to it, so I put it off for like a year. This is Star Bright by Martin Caden. You know, this is an old edition of this. This is like an old book. This is published in 1980. This publication is 1984. It's got that lovely little Kmart sticker up in the corner, which is kind of fun. When's the last time you thought you could buy a book at Kmart for 77 cents? Well, when's the last time you could buy anything at Kmart in our country? Anyway, sounds like it's a nuclear experiment that is beyond control, and now the whole world's gonna burn up. Yeah, it should be a fun time. Not even 200 pages, I know, just over 200 pages. You know, let's read a book about everything burning when it's really freaking hot out too. You know, why not, right? Okay, these last 2, these are the question mark ones here. Well, one's specifically a question mark. The other one I'm not sure on too much either. This is Thomas Blackthorne, Edge. That's right, the cover is very boring. But I do love the whole synopsis about live tonight on Angry Robots, 2 men, 2 knives, 1 duel. 1 death and a burst of blood. Join us every night as we find out who has the edge. Let's see. Britain tomorrow. The Tyndale Corporation has sold the country to hell. They've countered escalating knife crime by legalizing dueling and made daily life into a reality TV show. The streets are red with blood. The skies are black with polluted horror. High walls have been built around Britain. An endless winter is coming. There are only 2 people who can save us. This is their story. Post-apocalyptic from Angry Robot. Sign me up. I'm willing to give it a shot. I think I bought this one like a year ago, so it's been sitting here for quite a while. So it's time. It's time to finally get this one read and out of the stack. And then this last one, William Browning Spencer's Zodwallop, which is such a fun title to say. The guy wrote children's books. He just wants to be left alone, but the world, several worlds, actually won't let him. It sounds really, really messed up fantasy type stuff. published in 1995. 360 pages. Never read this author before, so I have no clue I have no clue what I'm actually getting into. But it sounds bizarre, and the title sounds bizarre, and everything just sounds really bonkers, and I'm willing to give it a shot just for that. So yeah, it's going to be a busy month of reading. I don't know, can I do the money shot? I don't know if I can do the money shot. There's too many books. Let's see if I can get the stack picked up without dropping it. I'm gonna drop it, I know I am. Money shot. I have a lot of reading planned here for July. It's gonna be a good month, I know it. And I need a good reading month and a month of getting some stuff out of the stacks. I recently wrote up my physical TBR list with all the books I own that I haven't read yet. It's at 120. It's a little bit out of control. I went beyond control on buying books here this last couple months, and you're going to see that in the upcoming book haul. There's a lot of books there, and I might have to go back on a book buying ban for a little while because it's a lot. There's a lot there. But anyway, that's my video for today. What did you guys think? Have you read any of these? Do any of these sound interesting to you? What is on your TBR for July? I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep turning pages.